leaders from my region, who have actually branded us as traitors. They've called us traitors. They said that, no, why are you kwa nini unanyanyasa watu wetu? But they forget that when those markets are going to be completed, and by the way, I'm sure you've seen, and I want to encourage you to go to Gikomba and see the transformation that is happening in that place. When it is completed and it is dignified, who are the people who are going to be operating in those spaces? Your own people. Because we're not going to replace those traders with others. It's only bankruptcy of idea, where 1 minute it's like a slogan, or affordable housing because it is popular when you're looking for votes. Then you come back and you say, no, sijui if I can get my chicken up there, then affordable housing is not for us. Number two, you all know it is not a secret. I was in the last administration, and it is no secret because I was in the Azimio formation. And I was one of the people that drafted part of that manifesto for Azimio, especially the one that dealt with housing. And my formation then believed in this housing agenda. They believed in it. I know the late Baba, I had many meetings with him. And if there was something that whenever we sat down to speak about, he was so passionate about, was the conversation about housing. And these so-called leaders, at that point, they were for housing. When they were seeking your votes, they told you that they are going to sort out housing for you. But then something happens. And because some of these decisions, like how to implement housing, is not an easy decision. It's not a popular decision. Then they wake up and they realize that, we are no longer for housing. And then they start fighting the same housing that they were for. And what I believe in is that no one has the monopoly of knowledge on anything. His Excellency the President, when we were setting the design of this program, he said, look, Hinga, we have a program that is very unpopular right now. And that is fine, because that is what leadership is all about. And sometimes leadership is not about telling people what they want to hear. It's about taking them where they must be. Because this country, surely, 60 years after independence, we can't have 70% of our people living in squalor, in a place where they pay to use a toilet. And these are working people, by the way. These are working people. These are not lazy people who just refuse to work. These are people who are educated. Some have more than one degree. Some of them work harder than we do. And they didn't choose to be born where they are. So this idea of playing games and emotions with people must be called out. And so let me say something, because I am very proud of what we have achieved. But it's not for me to say it. It is about the lives of people that are being changed every single day. You take a lady like Jerusha, a single mother who lived in Mukuru for all those years. Today she's a homeowner at Mukuru. But the people who are fighting the program, because the beauty about housing, it's either we do it or we didn't do it. Because you can see it. Unlike where we say, no, my manifesto is, I want to double the GDP. Then you can get different professors and all of them, they can come with different figures about GDP. Because GDP, you can't really see it. Of course, sometimes you can feel it in your pocket. But housing, it's either you did it or you didn't do it. Because as long as you can see and you can count. All right? So, the naysayers, people who are bankrupt of ideas, people who have embraced mediocrity, what did they say? They looked at that Jerusha when we were moving her into her house. And because they want to take away the attention from the fact that this is an ordinary person who is a hardworking mother, single mother, wakes up every day, makes a living from selling mutumba, pays rent every month. And today, she's being told that you're going to move into your own house that has running water, you have your own toilet, you have power, you have gas, you have internet. Your children walk to an ECD and a primary school. They have a basketball court, and they can't believe that. So what did they do? They started playing in soccer net and Ngware. Walianza Ngware. So what did they do about this innocent lady whose only wrong she did was to dare to believe in a program? Oh no, they said this lady is a broker from Sijui. She was in Kisi somewhere. You know, this is the lady from Embu. They even said she's from Kisi. And that became the news. The news was not about an ordinary Kenyan whose life has been changed.